The 2021 Swedish government crisis started on the 21st of June 2021 after the Riksdag ousted Prime Minister Stefan Löfven with a no-confidence vote. This was the first time in Swedish history a Prime Minister was ousted by a no-confidence vote. In 2014, after winning the general elections, Löfven's government budget was rejected by the Riksdag, causing a government crisis that lasted for nearly an entire month. The 2021 government crisis is the second government crisis with a Löfven cabinet. On the 17th of June 2021, the Sweden Democrats called the vote after the Swedish Left Party withdrew support for Löfven over the rent control reforms, which is an important issue for many voters. He now has 1 week to resign or declare a snap election. After the 2018 Swedish general election, the Social Democratic Party together with the Green Party joined together with Centre Party and Liberal Party to form the January Agreement. This agreement gained support from the Left Party, who weren't part of the agreement. The agreement stated that the Social Democratic Party and Green Party would form the government, with the support from the Centre Party and Liberal Party, who would have some of their political program adopted by the government. The January Agreement consists of 73 points ranging from immigration policy to housing policy. The Left Party were heavily against 2 points in the agreement: a proposal to change the Law of Employment Protection Act, and another point which would introduce market rents for new build apartments, the latter of which is the main cause to the uprising of the government crisis. Both of these points were conditions of the Centre and Liberal parties during the negotiations, rather than Social Democratic or Green Party policy. As early as 2018, the then party leader of the Left Party, Jonas Sjöstedt, said that they would not hesitate to declare a no-confidence vote against the government if they were to introduce a bill on market rents, and this threat was repeated when voting to make Löfven Prime Minister. On the 8th of June 2021, the report of government's Commission on removing rent controls on new build apartments was concluded and delivered to the government. On the 15th of June 2021, the Left Party leader Nooshi Dadgostar called a press conference and gave the government a 48-hour ultimatum to scrap the proposed law. On the 17th of June, the government had not said a word, and Dadgostar announced that they no longer had confidence in the government. Jimmy Åkesson, the party leader of the Sweden Democrats, gave his support to Dadgostar, and shortly thereafter a vote was called by the Sweden Democrats to the Speaker of the Riksdag. Both leaders of the opposition parties, Moderate Party and Christian Democrats, announced that they also had no confidence in the sitting government. This meant there was a majority in the Swedish Riksdag that had no confidence in Stefan Löfven, and a successful no-confidence vote was imminent. On the 21st of June 2021, the no-confidence vote took place and Stefan Löfven was ousted by a majority of the Swedish Riksdag. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, only 55 members of the Swedish Parliament were allowed to partake in a vote in the chamber. According to the basic laws of Sweden, there has to be at least 175 yes votes from the members of the parliament for a prime minister to be ousted. Because of this, the 55 rule was not applied for this vote, and all 349 members of the Swedish parliament had to be present for the vote, unless symptoms of COVID-19 were present at the time. The decision to have all 349 members present was criticized by Swedish media personalities, who meant this vote could become a super-spreading event of COVID-19. Some members of parliament were hesitant to the decision and called it unpleasant and uncomfortable that there was a slight risk of sick people not staying home during the vote. Prior to the vote, the Speaker of the Riksdag called in the parliamentary leaders for every Swedish party to discuss how the vote would take place. Johan Carlson, Director General for the Public Health Agency of Sweden, said that the strategy that was put forward were well thought out and reasonable for the occasion. The Swedish Riksdag previously had a recommendation in place on wearing face masks in the building. However, this recommendation was abolished on the 14th of June 2021 and put into effect on the 18th of June 2021. For the vote on the 21st of June 2021, the recommendation was put into place once again temporarily. The vote took place on the 21st of June 2021 at 10 a.m. And a majority of the members of parliament voted yes to oust Löfven. This was the first time a Swedish prime minister lost a vote of confidence in the Swedish riksdag. Löfven now has 1 week to resign or declare a snap election. If Löfven resigns, the Speaker of the riksdag, Andreas Norlén, has to find a candidate for the prime minister position that can be supported by a majority of the Swedish riksdag. If Löfven decides to declare a snap election, it has to take place